Yo, welcome back to the ChungaBunga podcast, episode 7. So
What's
today
up?
we got the Chunga Bros together to talk about some more stuff going on in the gaming world. In the bottom right corner, we have Ish. Say hello, bud.
Hey, what's up,
Yeah, bottom
everybody? It's one of these.
right. And the corner too lazy to have a webcam. we
He's
have
up
Chris.
here, though.
Say hello
I know
to
that
this,
for
bud.
sure.
Greetings. And then you have me, the hardcore, extreme,
He's
sensitive,
there, I think.
coolest guy
No,
you'll ever meet.
There.
Oh, claps,
way.
claps. Go!
Not sensitive at all. You are not sensitive at all.
Oh, come on.
Least sensitive man all time.
All right,
Totally
so
sensitive.
just so you guys know, we're streaming live on Twitch, Facebook, but we also have a Podbean and a Spotify if you guys want to listen there.
Yes.
We do this every Sunday at 6 p.m., so go ahead and join us, interact with the stream, have fun.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely. So if you guys
So,
don't want to see these
who wants-
mugs, we got the podcast for you.
Who wants to start it off?
I will start it off just because this week I proposed a little thing and Chris really took it to the extreme. So this week I was talking about doing a stream for the podcast and I was like, oh, maybe I could do Dark Souls or maybe I could do Paper Mario, which is like, I love Paper Mario. I have a million things to say about that game. And Chris, out of nowhere, it's just like, I wonder if you would play Baldur's Gate 1. Let me see if I can get everybody in the world to vote for Baldur's Gate 1. And that's what happened. So as soon as I saw that there was like, I don't know, 16, 17 votes, I just ended up buying Baldur's Gate 1, and now I'm just waiting to see when we're going to do it.
To be fair, though, shout out to my sister. She really wanted to vote for Paper Mario, but I forced her to vote for Baldur's Gate.
I really appreciate your sister's thought of like me playing Paper Mario.
Hold on. I got one thing to say. It's kind of off topic, but I saw this on the little mini feed here.
Okay.
Special thanks to Hideo Kojima, whoever you actually are. Thanks for the donation.
I think I know.
$5.
Yes.
All right.
I think I know who that is.
But yeah. So you're gonna end up playing Baldur's Gate, even though we wanted you to play I wanted Dark Souls 1.
Yeah.
I think you wanted Paper Mario, but Chris really wanted Baldur's Gate. I don't know why.
So the craziest thing about it too, it's like I think about it, I'm like, man, if I just played Dark Souls, I could have just beat that in 5 hours. If I played Paper Mario, I could have beat that in like 16 hours, maybe less, But now I gotta play Baldur's Gate, like a 50-something hour game, and that's
More
just gonna
content.
that's just
What's the
gonna
problem?
span. Oh my god, the headaches that game is gonna produce is the problem.
You're fine. It's not like you're gonna be playing another game like that simultaneously.
Yeah. Could you imagine? That would be terrible. But when that does eventually get posted up here on the Twitch channel, we're also going to break it into pieces and put it on the YouTube. So if you want to go check it out either here or on the YouTube, you're definitely free to do it either way.
Mm-hmm.
So
other than that, that's like all cool news and everything. But on the regular, just like randomly, we do stream other games. Ish and I were playing Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
And we do that either on our personal streams or this stream. I think we did it this podcast stream.
Yes.
And we have quite a bit of fun. Just
Yeah.
remembering how to play games that we've beaten before.
It's the weirdest thing. It's like playing the game by myself, sitting in my room, easy, no problem. These games don't matter, But when I started playing on the Twitch, I'm just like, oh boy, it's time to get nervous. And I'm just like dropping everything. I'm like getting hit by people that I wouldn't normally get hit by. And it was just such a weird experience, but I want to do more of it for sure.
Dude, all right. So this week we had a few streams and we had a lot of cool news. One of them that I was actually pretty stoked about because it was my childhood. It was Crash 4, dude. What do you guys think about that, man?
Chris, what do you think about Crash 4?
All right, I am probably going to be in the minority with this. I've never played a Crash game before.
Oh, boo.
So, to me, it looks pretty. Like, It looks like a really fun, lighthearted game that you can just jump into and have a good time with. It's got the wall running and whatnot, but I just don't really have that like enthusiasm that I think a lot of people have, because it's like, oh, Crash 4, and I'm just kind of like, all right, well, it looks like all the other Crash games, just prettier. But
Okay.
it still looks like a lot of fun.
Okay, so that's how I know you haven't played a Crash game where you're like, oh, it looks like this. Oh, it's gonna be fun. And, I'm like, no, Crash isn't fun at all. Crash is about beating an entirely hard-ass, unfair game, like how Donkey Kong Country felt like when you first got it for Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like Crash 1 is hard, Crash 2 is hard, 3 is hard. What the hell is the other one called? There was another one that was extremely hard too, but I think it was the racing game that was super hard.
Oh, Crash Bandicoot Racing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember like when you were watching the stream when they announced it, you're like, wow, it looks like the Revenge of Cortex or whatever it was, the
Yeah.
Return of Cortex.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh no, it's a new game. And then I saw it again, and then I heard something along the lines of like some time stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, in part three, the end of that game, when you beat Cortex, you send him back in time. And I guess this is it's revisiting that. That's why it's going to be Crash 4, which is really cool. And then you see the return of the mask that Cortex has, and then the mask that you have. Then you see Coco that you were able to use in part three. So it looks like it's just going to be a big smorgasbord, like kind of what we saw with Ratchet and Clank. But this will be like the Crash version of it, which is also super exciting, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think
I didn't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go. No, you finish your thought.
I think it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be a really cool game. Is it gonna be hard? Yeah. Like it looks hard.
Yeah.
All the platforming
It's a
parts look
Crash game.
super hard. You had the T-Rex running after you with the lava on the floor. I'm like, that's gonna be annoying.
Yeah, I think the hardest part is gonna be the flipping upside down on gravity thing.
Yeah,
I can't do those.
Yeah, that's gonna be another mask too. So you get two more masks in this new game. One of them is like a time stop or a time slowdown mask, and then the other one is the one that swaps gravity. So that's gonna be really cool.
So this game just looks, it's deceiving. Like it looks like a simplistic game, but it's actually a pain in the ass.
Yeah. So it looks cute, but it's deceiving. Kind of like Conker's Bad Fur Day, where it looks cute, but it's extremely deceiving.
Like some of the Spyro games too.
Yeah, like some of the Spyro games. They're fun though. Those are fun adventure games.
It's made by Naughty Dog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, they could subvert your expectations and make it really easy.
Yeah, this is Naughty.
It's gonna be the top title for them this year.
Yeah, easily the biggest title that they've brought out this year.
Oh man. What else has been going on, man? Like I just like mostly all I know of is you got that like cool space MMO, like a bunch of things, but what else has been going on, man? Like,
Okay. Well, I'll talk about the big space MMO later. I kind of wanted to talk about something that a friend of mine was talking about. Like we had a discussion about this. So they said that X game is the greatest game of all time, but I'd like to know your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think is the greatest game ever made? At least for you, and
Man, best game ever.
ever made, yeah.
I was gonna say Destiny 2.
Yeah,
No,
there we
nobody
go.
would ever say that. I mean, of course you're gonna have like the obvious choices like Ocarina of Time and
Yeah.
Pokemon one, but stepping out of like the obvious,
Uh-huh.
honestly, for me, I would say the MMO Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Okay.
Because the first time I really got into an MMO, the first time I did the whole like clan thing and getting a bunch of people together for raids and stuff like that, it was the first time I really did anything like that, and it was a blast. I mean, yeah, you had Destiny 1 at that time, and they have raids and stuff like that. But I mean, it's only
Yeah.
6 people. It's like the cheese watered down version of a raid, which I mean, they're fun, but I wanted that like giant group of people raid experience.
Right.
So just jumping into that, being their tank and having them, kind of show me how to do it. I mean, probably not as difficult as like a World of Warcraft raid, but still, it's like that was like my first experience with it. So I'd probably lean towards that if I had to think of something off the top of my head.
Yeah, that game was plenty difficult as far as the raids.
Yeah.
The best part about them was like the cutscenes. It was like fully voice acted and it was a cool game. It's a shame that it didn't really like make a huge impact, but it is definitely a really cool game. What about you, Ko?
Objectively speaking, I think just because of how long it's been able to go on, I'd say World of Warcraft, honestly.
God.
Okay.
So lately, as in the past few expansions, I personally haven't liked it,
Uh-huh.
but there's a lot of people that still play that. Millions and millions of people still
Yeah.
subscribe to that game,
Yeah.
and you got to think like it's got to be good if people are still playing. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
been going on for forever, like crazy, right?
Yeah. I was having this conversation today actually, and it's like, yeah, there's a lot of people who have like subs and everything. Like the numbers, they look good, and then sometimes they
Yeah,
look bad, and then you're just like, and then sometimes it's just all people know at that point where it's like they played it so long, it's like they can't go out and do shit. They can't go out and do another thing, you know? It's like this is it.
yeah,
World of Warcraft, wake up, play World of Warcraft, eat, do your other stuff, get back on, play World of Warcraft, sleep. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But you
No,
have,
I was definitely like that for a long time, man. Like all the way up till Wrath of the Lich King, like a little bit of like the start of Cataclysm. I played an unhealthy amount of the game, an
oh yeah,
unhealthy amount.
yeah,
And then it just like when they started like lowering the difficulty, merging all the classes together, like you didn't really feel like there was any class diversity or, but yeah, for the most part, I think objectively speaking, even though I don't really like the state of war now, I think objectively speaking, it's probably one of the better games out there right now.
okay. That's cool. I'm surprised. I'm surprised you guys decided to choose MMOs as like the greatest game,
Yeah.
especially
I
considering,
mean,
you know.
yeah.
Well, I'll say,
If we're gonna like leave out MMOs, I'd say a game like Dark Souls, maybe Dark Souls 3, maybe,
okay.
or like dude. My top three games: Final Fantasy,
Mhm.
7 and 10 are my favorites out of those. Let's say franchises. The Warcraft franchise, so Warcraft 3, 2. I never played 1, so I don't know what that's like.
Okay.
But yeah, Warcraft, Dark Souls, and Final Fantasy, my top three franchises, I'd say.
I see Joe over here. We're talking about just greatest games right now. But
So if we're taking out MMOs though, then
yeah.
I would say Destiny.
Destiny's technically an MMO though.
Yeah.
No, that's like MMO light to like the lightest.
Okay.
Hold on, let's see. Let's see what is actually classified as.
Okay, so
Destiny 2.
while you're looking at that, I got something to say. It's funny that you guys chose MMOs as the greatest game of all time because when I was having this conversation, it's widely regarded that like the greatest game of all time is not an MMO or an RPG, and that's looking at you, Kiltridge. Uh, but that, people think that, obviously Ocarina of Time is the greatest game of all time.
That's
Uh,
an RPG.
we can have this conversation some other time. But I'd say it's an RPG, but it's not a traditional RPG. It has RPG elements.
Action adventure. I'll say action adventure.
I will also say action adventure. It's what I always say.
Yeah.
To me, honestly, the greatest game that I've ever played is it's probably Super Metroid, dude, for Super Nintendo. It's got a lot of flaws, like now that I grow up, but like even playing it to this day, those flaws don't matter. That game is solid,
Yeah.
dude. They made a remake Zero Mission that takes away all the flaws, and I still think that the original Super Metroid is like the greatest game that's ever been made. You get everything you want. You get the adventure part, you get the shooting part,
Yeah.
you get building up your character. You don't get to name Samus because that's part of the story, but you get all these amazing items and all these different ways to play the game. It's a giant bundle of like having fun. It's a giant sandbox of joy and good times, and it's hard at
Yeah.
some points, and then it's easy at some points. I can see why a lot of people use that as the platform for speedrunning, where it's like I see a million people speedrunning Super Metroids. You know? That's what I think at least. But
Yeah, I
yeah.
think I only went with an MMO because like I like games that you can play like together with people, right? Like I like that like social experience to it. So I think that's why I gravitated towards like an MMO with that. 'Cause, like I like single player
Yeah.
games, but you know, it's always good to play with a group.
Yeah, I think the MMO is like a very safe choice too for like greatest game because it can always has room to be better. It has room to get even more impressive as time goes along, you
They
know?
patch it, it changes, yeah.
So it's like it can start as something that's not the greatest, but over time can become the greatest thing that's ever been made, for sure. Okay. Um, my bad. I sidetracked on that. We what we did this week as far as new stuff, we checked out the Summer Games Fest and we checked out a couple of other streams. We saw some
Yeah.
new games. One in particular that I wanted to see. Um, we play Smite, or well, I used to play Smite. And I like Avatar the Airbender. I know Cody, you like Avatar the
I love
Airbender.
Avatar. Yeah.
And what we saw was
Those,
Smite was
those blue
getting
aliens, dude.
Smite was getting a collaboration with Nickelodeon's Avatar, the Last Airbender, in which you can play as Aang. I believe Aang is going to be Merlin. Zuko is going to be Susanoo, and Korra from her own series, Legend of Korra, is going to be Scotty. So if you guys know about Smite and you know anything about Airbender, that's like the perfect unity. It's the perfect time to go out and play that game. That's one of the things I wanted to say for sure. Other than that, we saw a new game called Starbase by Frozen Byte. This looked awesome. I love playing Minecraft. I love playing things out in space as well, and this is the perfect mixture of both of those concepts. So it's like an MMO where it's like you get to openly freely build your ship or ships or your own command center or your own space station, and you pretty much go and fight other units or other people, and it's all like, what was it, first person, I believe? Co?
You know what? I I don't know if there's like a you could change between them,
Well,
honestly.
what I did see, I saw a first person mode, and you can either be a pilot or you can be a ground infantry unit and fire at other
Um,
ships and all this other stuff. It was really cool. You know, I was blown away just because I was like, I don't get enough like space games that are cool like this. I don't get enough space games where I'm really interested in what I'm doing, or like No Man's Sky came out and I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm flying around space.
oh,
Or like Osiris New Dawn came out as an indie game and it was really promising, but it kind of fell off. And you know, I just want a really cool space game, and this looks like it's gonna be that.
It
it's a
could.
very, very adult version of like Minecraft. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not much of a Minecraft person, but like Cody knows, like I'll play like a game like The Forest if like the boys are playing it. I'm not much of like a going out grabbing material, building. It's just not really my jam. But if I'm playing with a lot of people,
Yeah.
that's what interests me. So at first, I completely ruled out this game. I saw
Okay.
a little bit of it, and I'm like, forget, I'm not gonna worry about it.
Mhm.
But the more I watched like content on that game, the more interesting it looks. And it's like if you get enough people together, man, you could make your own like Death Star or something and just fly around and start destroying things. Like, it's looks like a lot of fun if you have the right amount of people.
Yeah, definitely. If you have just like a nice squad of maybe like 10, 15 people, that seems like it'd be a really good time. A really crazy Discord channel, that's for sure. The thing that I wasn't super about was, it is an MMO, so it's huge, like intergalactic thing. Um, but I'm starting to hate games that don't have an ending, you know? I'm starting to hate games that just keep going on and on and on, and you could have like destroyed an entire fleet, or you could have destroyed an entire army, but now you got to do it again, or now you got to do it somewhere else. And I kind of just would like for you to like conquer the entire universe, and that's it. So like reset everything and then start again.
well, I mean, you saw what like they're doing with what No Man's Sky, right? They're still updating it quite often,
Oh yeah, I saw that there was a
and
multiplayer mode finally.
yeah, they've definitely redeemed themselves at this point. I
Mhm.
definitely would be down to give that a try. I don't know if you guys have that game, but
I
What
mean,
what else
should
are
definitely
they
try it.
what else are they doing with it?
As far as I know, it's like they made multiplayer a real thing in that game rather than maybe you visit somebody's somebody's planet that they've been on, maybe, or maybe you'll see like a little orb, like a ghost of them.
Right. Oh, okay.
It was really pathetic excuse of multiplayer back when they started, but
Yeah.
now you could actually like play at the same time, do the same thing. You can edit worlds and stuff. It's really cool, like terraforming and stuff.
You said like you could see where people were at or like an orb. That reminds me of like Dark Souls when you're kind of just running around and you see people's ghosts and stuff just sliding or doing this or that or swinging, you know? That's about like the least amount of
Yeah.
multiplayer you could do.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I don't know. So this is like an MMO, but how is it really going to be a lot like Eve Online? Like, how do we know how much gameplay was released?
So as far as it being like Eve Online, I think the only thing like about it is that your factions fighting each other. I think that's the comparison that can be made because in this game you literally can be on foot and attack people like you're playing Halo or something.
But wasn't Eve Online? They were like player-based factions. Like they weren't actually game factions. Like it would be guild-based kind of.
That's exactly it.
Is that how this is?
That's what it looks like because you could see a bunch of different players themselves. Like they're not flying any particular flag or anything. It's just players and their own designs. So I'd imagine
that looks dope.
Yeah, I would imagine that like it's all just player factions.
Yeah, and that's coming out like later this year, right?
Yes. Early access is later this year.
Oh, early access.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sure if I can get enough people to play it, it's gonna be a good ass time.
That's another thing, man. Early access.
I'm only sad about early access and early demos is because they go away sometimes. Like that.
Sometimes, and then other times you're sad that they're using early access as an excuse to release an unfinished game.
I really hope that pirate game comes back. I really hope that shit comes back.
I think
did they take out the pirate game?
Yeah, it was only till the 22nd.
Yeah, it was just a demo.
It's the best game I've played this year, and it's fucking gone.
Oh my god, you can't be serious.
That game was so fun. It wasn't fun when I got shot in the back, or when I got stabbed in the back, but everything else was really fun.
You were asking for it, man.
No, I wasn't. I was like not even looking at my screen at that time. All right, we saw some other stuff. The coolest one that I saw was Spinch, for sure. Like other than the space game, Spinch was like crazy as hell. Like,
yeah.
Give me a second to just like wrap my head around this game.
Yeah, you need to process it. That's how much this game is.
Yeah, it looks super trippy.
Yeah. So okay, little elements here. So it's like a Super Meat Boy style, like platformer game. It's crazy. It's hectic. It's all over the place. It's like it looks like everything could kill you in one hit. So very Super Meat Boy style.
Mm.
And I was looking at everything, and I was looking at the character design, and I was like, and then the evil guy, the antagonist shows up, and he looks straight up like Aku from Samurai Jack. And in my brain, all I could yell is Aku! And it turns into all this crazy shit, and then the game really starts opening up, and then what is it, Spinch, or the little character you're using, starts collecting little orbs that's his kids, and then he starts shooting them at the boss, and it's just like I'm like my mind is being just exploded. I know Chris, you were looking at the game too, and you had a lot of interest in it.
Yeah, especially the art style. Like it looks like, oh my god, it's like Super Meat Boy, but you threw a bunch of LSD at the like design team or something.
Right.
Like just the bright colors. Like there's just so much going on the screen at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish we could put up like a little thing on the game right now, just so like everybody could see how crazy it was.
Well, Killtridge or Joe is bringing up Chronicles of Illyria.
Chronicles of Illyria.
Yeah, is that relatable?
Maybe it's something in the back of my mind right now, but if I remember what he's talking about, we'll definitely get to it.
Oh, we can't forget about the music of that game.
Right, for Spinch.
Yeah, they had like a customized Game Boy Color that they would use to like generate music, and like even like other toys. They had like a bunch of electronics that were customly modified to produce sounds, and they would use that to create
Oh,
Like
here we
the
go.
entire soundtrack.
Here we go. We got it pulled up here.
Like super trippy.
This is crazy
Like,
stuff,
it's
dude.
amazing.
Look how crazy this fucking game. It looks like an Adult Swim game. It's so colorful and crazy. But look at this boss, and oh my god. And then you got Aku Face.
Good face.
Yeah.
Like it just looks like a blast. Like all around looks like a fantastic product.
So Chris was talking about the music. So basically, the creator of or the composer, James Kirkpatrick, he just got a bunch of stuff like an old Game Boy and started using just noises, crazy like obnoxious noises to make the music for this game. And if you look at the trailer, if you go to YouTube, check out the trailer, you're just gonna hear a bunch of like crazy ass noises that you might have heard in the past before, you know? But it's really neat that this is how they did the music for the game.
Yeah, and in the stream it shows him like mixing live.
Yeah,
It's like he's going off and it sounds fantastic.
right? It doesn't sound like it would get annoying at all. All right.
Definitely not.
I'm looking forward to Spinch. When it's
Yeah.
Game of the year.
game of the year? You sure? Because Stray's coming out.
Possibly. Yeah. No, Stray's next year.
Oh yeah.
See, I know that, man.
Stray.
That's my most anticipated game of like the decade.
Stupid. I mean, you know, there are a lot of anticipated games of the decade. There are a lot of things that from the last decade that we'd like to see come back, or even the one before that. You know, like I don't know, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, how that's getting remade.
Stray.
You know what I mean? You rather have Stray?
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
I would rather have Stray.
Well, right now I don't think it's the right time for like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 to
You sure?
come. There's look at all these like Skate 5 or where the heck is coming out. You
Uh-huh.
got Skate XL coming out, and that one looks like probably going to be the best one. I don't know. There's quite a few skating games just out of nowhere. Like
Yeah,
there's no
that's
skating
crazy.
game for years, and now all of a sudden there's like 3, 4.
Well, yeah, you have to remember what happened the last time they made a skating game with Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5.
What?
Dude, it was a complete disaster. It was a
Oh
failure. It
yeah,
was
there was Tony
bad.
Bugs, right?
Online didn't work. So it's like
Uh-huh.
it was terrible. It had like a huge day one patch that was supposed to fix everything, but it messed it all up even further. Uh, you know, but there are a couple of skating games that are pretty cool that are coming up. You know, you said Skate, you know, Skate XL, Tony Hawk's coming out. There's another one by I would imagine he's just an indie developer. What was his name is Sam Eng Sam Eng. This game looked pretty cool. He designed it after like I believe it was New York, and you're just skating through New York, and it's got like the same thing as like Skater XL or Skate has, how you have to adjust your weight or adjust the way your legs are or your feet to kick off. That was pretty cool. It looks like it has a huge story to it. It's like going into like the underworld of New York City, and I think it might have to do with like dealing with like depression or issues and stuff like that, you know? So that'd be a pretty cool thing to look into, you know, especially since, you know, that's a real topic and it's something that if you can present it in any form of media or at least present it in a positive way, you know, it's something to look into for sure.
Okay, so when he was talking about Chronicles of Illyria, he was talking about there was it was a pre-alpha game,
Okay.
and it was one of the biggest types out there, and I guess like it was really really good. Then it was revealed that it was like a big fake. They did a sale for plots of land in the game
Okay.
before beta came out.
Wait, what?
Price range went from $30 to $1,000. 2 weeks after that sale, they shut the game down.
What?
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
Oh my goodness,
Wait,
my
they-
mic was off the whole time. I'm sorry.
They,
Oh, no.
Basically,
Land in the
I read
game.
out. Yeah. So I read out Kiltridge's in Twitch chat. I muted my mic on accident. I know I'm a poor excuse, right? Chronicles of Illyria. They had a pre-alpha sale. It was revealed to be like a big fake later on, but basically they sold a bunch of plots of land in game for
Uh-huh.
real life money,
Yeah.
$30 to $1,000, and then 2 weeks after that sale, they shut the game down. And
God. god.
Yikes. They
Did anyone
raised $7.5 million fundraising it?
Oh,
Oh my God.
Yikes,
You know,
dude.
we hear about Kickstarter failures a lot, but
Yeah.
it's when you hear like when they made all this money and the product gets shut down or it sucks, like Mighty Number Nine, how it made all this money but still bad. Or even games like Bloodstained, Bloodstained's super awesome, but they still haven't done all the rewards. They haven't sent out any of the stuff that was supposed to come out with the Kickstarter rewards, or none of the stuff that was supposed to be in the game is in the game yet. And it's like been out for like a year and a half or some shit now. And it's crazy how Kickstarter, you could do so much of this stuff on Kickstarter and get away with it, you know?
Oh yeah. There's no legal ramifications for failing a Kickstarter. Like you don't have to give the money back because you've already spent it. People are just
spent it, yeah.
definitely sounds like something I would do though.
Oh yeah. I've been saying that you're like the Peter Molyneux of our group, where you're just gonna like make crazy promises and get all this money and run away, you know?
There's no legal ramifications to it then.
Yeah, man. All right, so man.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I missed a lot of the games, like a lot of the live streams. So I didn't get to see as many of the games as you guys. Are there any other like really cool games out there, like things that you think would be like just a total success? Like,
Yeah, Panzer Paladin.
really?
For sure, Panzer Paladin.
What's that about?
So it's a game about you're like in this mech suit, and I didn't get too much of like the like plot of the game because I was too fucking excited just looking at it. I was like, oh my God, okay, so it looks like Shovel Knight, but it also looks like old games like Mega Man and like Castlevania and stuff like that. It looks like the very oldest form of those type of games. Like the pixel art is nice and crisp, but it still like has that shitty color. It was pretty cool. It's the type of game that I like. I think it's gonna succeed because games like this get a lot of like rage review from indie players. So basically, you're just like in this mech suit, and you use the enemy's weapons to create new spells or abilities to like kill them with. People who are familiar with games like the old Strider or games like what was it, Bionic Commando, are going to be really excited with stuff like this, where it's just left to right, just action and old school fun. I think it's going to get a lot of good reviews, and I hope it gets a lot of content because it looks like it'd be fun for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like at a glance right now, it kind of reminds me of a mix between Metroid, like the old school Samus games, and what's, man, I can't remember the name of that stupid game. The fun, stupid game. Side-scrolling, shoot 'em up.
Metal Slug?
Contra?
Metal Slug, there you go.
Okay, Metal Slug.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the art style is definitely less refined than Metal Slug. But yeah, there was a really cool thing you could do in that game. If you like beat a particular boss, you can get an item from them that you could take to a blacksmith, and you can create your own pixel art weapon. Literally create your own weapon with they have a pixel art like weapon designer kit, and you can create it, and that's the thing that you use.
In Metal Slug?
No, in this game, Panzer Paladin.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, and it's going to be shared with the entire community, so you could see other people's weapons and they could see your weapons. Just because we are our age and we've like understood the gaming community and the internet, it's gonna be a lot of dicks. It's gonna be a lot
I just realized, I remember you saying that. You're like, yep, somebody's gonna make a dick sword.
It's gonna be dick swords of like varying sizes and colors. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Man,
I think that's what's gonna save or keep this game like playable for a long time.
Dude, what about earlier you were playing Minecraft Dungeons and you're saying, man, this game's dope.
Okay, so I was playing Minecraft Dungeon and I was like, for the first 20 minutes, I was like, oh, this is dope as hell. What? It's like playing Gauntlet or playing like old school hack and slash games, right? And then I get to the second level and I'm like, oh shit, this is shallow. This is extreme.
Same thing.
This is extremely shallow.
Is
Yeah,
it as shallow as Diablo 3?
it's equally as shallow as Diablo 3.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But it's like
get
it
loot
tries
pinatas in Diablo.
it tries to be like innovative, but it also tries to stick with like the old school stuff. But it doesn't do it right. Maybe it's just because I was playing by myself and I should be playing with more people, but it just like
Yeah.
when I started the game, it was way too easy. And then I put it on the highest difficulty and it was still way too easy. And then I put it like I what is it? I took away all my skills and all my abilities that I had earned from that point since the beginning,
Uh,
and then it was like just hard enough, you know, but I had to like weaken myself for it to be like hard at all. And
I
I
mean,
was
it's a Minecraft game.
I know, you know, but it had so much potential to be more than that. At least like scale the easier parts or like the easier modes for kids. And then
Yeah, they
like if
could
you
have
get
difficulty settings.
they do
Yeah,
have
true.
difficulty settings. It's almost like Diablo where you get your torment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, stuff like that. But if they just catered like to older players on the harder difficulties, I think it would have been something really cool and really fun.
Yeah.
Like unfortunately it suffers from being too short and like not enough of the content is out yet. And then whatever will be out is probably going to be paid DLC. And you know, the game's $20. Like luckily for me,
Yeah.
I got it on Game Pass. And just something for you to think about. So the game has like 12 levels or something like that, and it's $20. Minecraft has like 1,000 hours of content and it's $30.
That's true.
So, you know, it's really hard to juggle like selling a game like that. But you know, they gotta make money. I thought it was cool at first, but it really wears you down. So, yeah.
You know, that's probably one of our next polls, man. If you want to watch us play, we'll have to have some sort of voting system. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll
If
probably
you want to watch us play hardcore Minecraft, I don't even know if you can play hardcore Minecraft together.
I don't know. There should be some way to do it, you know? We'll figure it out. If it comes to that, we'll figure it out. We'll put a poll either here on the Twitch channel or we'll put a poll on one of our other social media channels. But there will be a poll, and hopefully I don't get Baldur's Gate 2 on this poll.
Hey man, I'm just saying, I might have to add another option to it and
Nah,
sway the minds of the voters.
you're banned. Every person that you bring
man.
in is banned.
No.
It's gonna make me play all the
Well-
Baldur's Gates.
I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 is coming out. I thought it'd be a good idea to, get some Baldur's Gate
Oh, man.
content.
Dragon Age.
Yeah, Joe, Kiltridge is saying Dragon Age, and I'm like, I can get into Dragon Age. I like that game.
He brought up Diablo 4 too. I want that game to be. I want that game to be good. I don't mean to get sidetracked, but it's like I really, really, really want that game to be good because I miss playing Diablo.
There's no sidetrack in here. This is our podcast, man.
Every time you say
Diablo,
every time you say Diablo 4, the only thing I think of is Diablo Eternal, and the only thing I can think of then is like
Immortal?
or Immortal, whatever the hell it's called.
Immortal, the phone.
Yeah, all I
Oh,
can
no,
think is like
You have a phone, though. You can go look it up.
I'm like, oh my god. We're not talking about Diablo 4 yet. I'm not talking about it. I'm not ready to have
Until we
that
see a little bit
conversation.
more. They released a lot of like art assets and stuff like that. A lot of like really cool looking stuff.
Yeah.
It's like pre-alpha stuff, but dude, they're making this game look good. Like they're making it look really good.
I mean, hey, look, a bunch of games look good, you know, but
yeah,
they gotta deliver, and that's the point.
yeah,
brother.
that's true.
I
You
can't
know,
wait to see how they monetize it though.
Yeah,
they're bringing back the auction house. That's it.
I'm down. I made a lot of money when that thing was out, man. A
Yeah,
lot of money.
I made 25 cents.
Yeah,
All right.
dude, I just sold everything I got. I didn't care if my character sucked, man. I just made a lot of money.
Yeah, man, you'll be like the homeless dude that has a bunch of money, you know? Like he's homeless
I don't know,
by
but I got
choice.
$1 million.
Being homeless by choice. Like I live in this box, yes, but I'm actually a millionaire. So, damn, stupid Diablo. I hated that auction house, man.
Man, what about these other games, man? Like, there's man, what is going on right now? Like, just everybody decided to start doing streams and releasing, info about all these new games, but
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
any of them really gonna be good? That's the question, man.
That's always the question when it comes to games.
I
You
found
said they look good, but if they don't deliver,
so okay. That's I'm gonna double back on that and say they can look bad and still deliver. In which case
Look at
is
the pirate game we were playing, dude.
look at the pirate
Yeah.
game. And another one would be I saw a game called Knuckle Sandwich that looked like Earthbound. It looks like
Oh yeah.
Earthbound. It plays like Earthbound, but it had the only like difference is it had like this combat system that was slightly different from Earthbound. So basically, you would
Uh-huh.
play like a little WarioWare type mini game to attack your enemies, right? And
Uh-huh.
it it was really cool too because like the little design of the characters and this and that. While I was watching the stream, somebody like actually called it Down Undertale. That's what it was because the developers I believe are Australian. So it was it you know because Undertale is like the fan made game of Earthbound. You know, Undertale plays like Earthbound. You know, you walk around in the same way and you battle people in the same way.
Yeah.
And now like people are like, this is down Undertale, and I'm like super down with that. You know what I mean? Like I'm super down with games that are unique enough to like be different from their source material. You know, the Undertale was different because it had like a different type of story, it had a different elements, it had different pacing for the game. Like Earthbound takes forever to beat. Undertale you could beat in like an hour and a half, you know? But it's got all this rich
Uh-huh.
content that like ties it to being like an Earthbound game. And then this new one has got this new element where you do this WarioWare games. I'm like, man, I miss fucking WarioWare. I miss WarioWare so bad. I miss just doing the little things on the Game Boy. He had this little attachment and he'd like move it around and shit. It was fun. So
Look
I'm
at that
really
smile, man. You can tell how much he misses it.
I
How
fucking
much
miss
he's
that
smiling.
game. I miss that game so much. Uh
Dude, Chris, what about that game Sky?
So
yeah.
Sky is a mobile game. It's made by by that game studio, the same guys who made Journey.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, it's been oh god, man, it's been in beta for God knows how long, man. I remember like jacking my mom's iPod Touch so I could get into the first test flight of the game because it wasn't on Android; it was only on Apple products, and it like
Oh,
it heated up for iPod Touch so bad that I had to stop playing. Cause I'm like, dude, I feel like it's gonna like I feel like it's gonna make the iPod Touch explode. Like it was like burning hot.
Mhm.
Like so, it was just clearly unstable. But it's like an open world, like I would say an open world like exploring game. Like because there's not really like combat.
Mhm.
yeah.
So I mean, you know, it's a lot like Journey. It's like same art style, beautiful, beautiful game. The music is fantastic.
It's
I
pretty.
mean, if there's a story behind it, a shit flew over my head. So hopefully they figured out how to present that in a better way because I feel like they had like better storytelling in like Journey, even though there wasn't really storytelling. If that makes sense. I mean, I'm sure you guys played Journey,
Yeah, I've played
Yeah.
Journey.
but yeah, like I mean, you can run into people. I mean, it's a pretty game. I mean, you can already kind of tell right off the bat how they're gonna monetize it because
Yeah.
you know they have like character customization, like outfits and stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing here. You just want some money, but like it looks good. Like it's just for a mobile game, it's extremely beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So going back to Journey, I remember playing that game, and the first time I played it, the person I got paired up with was such a jerk ass. I hope I find him. I really hope I find him. He was just like the
That's
least helpful person. Sucked.
Man,
Sucked.
that's,
Uh,
that's like trying to play Escape from Tarkov and actually using the group finder.
yeah. It's
Oh
like
Jesus!
it's like
I can actually I have a story about that. Can I just share it really quick?
yeah, please.
Poor dude.
All right, so when I first started playing Tarkov, you know, I didn't have anybody to play with. It's like I think you and I were playing it, Cody, but I think you were doing something with your family. So I was like, okay, I don't got my carry, so I gotta try to like figure some shit out on my own. Because at that time, I think like my computer could like barely handle playing Tarkov because of how unstable it was.
Yeah.
So you know, if I didn't have Cody there to shoot people for me, then you know I had to figure something else out. So I tried doing the group finder. I get grouped up with like 3 other people. I'm super pumped up, right? I'm like, hell yeah, I brought some of the best gear I had. I'm like, I'm ready to like fucking go in, right? The moment I join in the game, the 3 of them just look at me and gun me down
Oh
so
man.
they could take my loot. I'm like Nikita, come on, man.
So
Like,
that reminds me of a time when I loaded in with Ko here, and I'm by the shipping container. He turns around 180 degrees and shoots me right in the face.
Well, no. All right. So what happened? Okay, what had happened was okay.
Hmm.
So I'm like, "Hey, is that you? Are you moving?" He's like, "Yeah," and I shoot the guy, and he goes, "Oh, I'm dead."
Yeah. You're like, analyze that. Hey, are you
But you
moving?
weren't
Yeah,
moving.
I
I
was.
didn't see you move, so I shot you. I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing? Are you moving? Are you doing anything?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm here, moving." And the guy that I shot in the head wasn't moving, and he goes, "Oh, I'm dead." Okay, bud.
Speaking of Tarkov, there's a podcast that comes out every week by probably the most popular member of the Tarkov community, Pastilli.
Okay.
Yeah.
And every now and then he'll have Nikita, who's like the head honcho of Battle
Battle
State
State.
Games,
Yeah.
and they'll have him on the show, and he'll come in with like some teasers, like he'll have like the animations for the Vector, which they're adding into the game soon, and
Yeah.
they had him on the show. He was talking a lot about the like standalone grenade launcher they're gonna be adding into the game,
Right.
which is I can already tell is gonna be cancer.
Yeah.
And they talked a lot because I thought this would be good for Cody. They talked a lot about their anti-cheat and 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 bans for the hackers, and like working with BattleEye. But I thought it was interesting because they really made it seem like when it comes to the bans that they don't have anything to do with it, that it's all BattleEye.
Right.
But they're trying to work with BattleEye to make it as efficient as possible. Because like labs, which I know is like me and Cody used to love doing labs, but they said that like a lot of people are saying it's like unplayable with the amount of cheaters that are. It's like all the hackers go to labs.
Yeah, like
But
that time on this current wipe, we went to labs and this guy like literally did like a freaking front flip jump through the air across the hall and headshot both of us with a pistol and kill us in one hit.
Get out of
Yep.
here.
Okay.
See, that's like a problem with gaming right now too. It's like everybody's stuck at home, so it's like I guess it'll be all right to cheat since there's nothing else to do, you know?
Yeah.
exactly. But yeah, they talked about a lot of that. But what I found to be the most interesting, which is the main point of me bringing it up,
Mhm.
is it turns out I was wrong about what they're doing with customs. It's not going to be a 30 to 40% expansion. It seems like in a lot of ways they're kind of reworking the entire map.
Okay.
So it's like, yes, they're going to make it bigger, but they're completely redoing like the lighting. They said they're going to have more buildings that are available to go in. Like
Okay.
it just seems like they're doing a lot more work to the map than just, adding more to it.
Uh-huh.
So he didn't really go into much details. It seems that's going to come out. They're shooting for 12.7 update, which I think is not their next update is 12.6.5, and then it's going to be 12.7.
Okay.
So it's right around the corner. But which is also when they're going to be adding the new scav boss and Shoreline, which I know, I think Shoreline's one of your favorite maps, right, Cody?
It can be, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean that's finally going to have their scav boss. But yeah, I just want to give like a little update to people.
A lot of running.
Okay.
A lot of running, exactly.
It's fun once you finally make it over to the apartments. It's fun. So yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't like that new age multiplayer cheating bullshit, but that's why I like simpler times, you know? And that's what I got with this game, Sea of Stars. It looks wonderful. It looks like Chrono Trigger, you know? So, I mean,
Yeah.
anything else? Do I need to say anything else? It looks like Chrono Trigger. Plays like Chrono Trigger, you know? It's almost as if somebody forgot Chrono Trigger existed, or in their mind it has been wiped from existence. It's like no one ever made Chrono Trigger. Like Squaresoft never made that
they
shit.
had an awesome soundtrack, right?
Yeah, it's super cool. Like everything about it is cool, you know. They got the composer for Chrono Trigger, which is like even crazier. It's like they didn't know it. They don't know, you know.
What are you doing? You're gonna get sued.
To just pull some dude from the original team.
and I think it's a good looking game, the Sea of Stars.
Yeah, it looks tight.
I mean, it's like
really nice.
I mean, it's not as pretty as something like Octopath Travelers, because that game's for it being like all 8-bit and so I think that game looks beautiful.
It's cool. It's
But
all like hand drawn stuff, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
like this looks really cool. Like I like the because like when I was in school, like first learning how to program,
Mhm.
we had a super simple like library of code that we'd use called SFML,
Okay.
and it's like it was prime for making games like Sea of Stars. So like when I see like some of the like lighting effects they're doing, I'm like, hey, I remember doing shit like that.
Okay.
So it's like I like stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it brings you back.
Do you know if there's multiplayer?
I haven't seen anything as far as multiplayer, but if there would be, that'd be awesome. That would be like games like Tales of Symphonia, where that was multiplayer, but one person would control the main character, and then when you did battle, you would control people separately. That'd be cool. I miss gameplay like that. So
Might be something to look into for the to stream later on.
yeah, I'd be down. I mean,
multiplayer.
I'd be down to like set up the GameCube, or not the GameCube, but the Xbox 360 and play Tales of Symphonia together. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Dude.
Oh wait, did we mention Wednesday?
Oh no.
What's
No,
that?
we didn't.
It just crossed my mind right now when we're talking about multiplayer. On Wednesday, Young Ish and I will be playing Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition. It's gonna be every Wednesday. What time did we agree on?
I think he said 5, but we'll figure that out.
We'll definitely post it on all of our social media when we get a definitive time for Definitive Edition.
Yeah.
But
to make it more fun, they're gonna do polls to decide certain things.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be fair because then I would just sway it to whatever. Because I have like
he has this
like
army of he has this army of family and friends.
Don't do swaying.
Okay,
and just
okay, I get it.
Cool, man. Just have people.
I won't abuse the voting system too often.
I want to add on to the Divinity thing. What we're gonna do is we're gonna play an extremely clean run, minus the newest DLC that we got like a couple weeks ago. That is the only addition to this game that we're gonna be playing, just so we can showcase the actual game in addition to like the new product that they're bringing into it. I wanted to bring that up too, because they did a really cool thing by creating new bosses and new enemies, new items, and new locations. But we got to check it out,
Yeah.
We got to.
Yeah, I have to be honest. I'm extremely excited to find, because I mean, Ish and I we'll jump on and try to play that game a lot, but for one reason or another, we'll like end up stop playing it. But I'm finally excited to like, okay, the commitment, like we're gonna do this every week, and it's like I'm gonna see it through to the end. I'm really excited to see how the game turns out.
Yeah. You're gonna be pleasantly surprised at how cool the story is. That's for sure. So I'm gonna do my best to shut my mouth and not go too fast.
We're voice acting everything also.
Oh
Ish and I are gonna take on the roles, and we're gonna voice act.
But there's voice acting in the game.
Fuck.
Yeah, we'll do all the voices that don't have voice acting, or like we'll pause it or mute it at some point.
We'll figure it out. We'll make it a fun experience for everyone.
Just talking about how he wants to play tonight and control all 4 people.
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, if you need a hand,
Dude.
I'll control 2 people and just stay way the hell out of your way.
No, but all right. That sounds like a lot of fun. But,
that sounds fun. You know what doesn't sound fun?
IGN.
Avengers.
Yeah, Avengers. Both of those things actually, but mostly Avengers.
Hey, what do they have in common? IGN did a thing and showcased a lot of Avengers stuff.
I was gonna say failure, but yeah, it's fine.
No, but they had a man. What is it? What, it's just called Avengers. What was
It's
it
just
called
Avengers.
Yeah, Square
It's just
Enix and Crystal Dynamics.
yeah. So it's just called Avengers, but every time I look at it, it just looks like Marvel Ultimate Alliance. That's
Yeah,
all I
that's
know.
that's what I got too. While we're watching it.
A less than version of Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
A
Mm.
rosterless version of Marvel Ultimate Alliance with paid
Oh
DLC to be incoming. Like, and they had no fucking like shame. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna be adding this stuff, but that's gonna be microtransactions. They didn't skip a beat, dude. I was watching this
no,
shit. I'm
really?
like, are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God.
Wow.
All the cool costumes too. It looks like it's gonna be paid DLC. I'm like, fuck you guys, dude.
It's
Every
just
time
like
with this shit.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, where they completely oversimplified the game,
Yeah.
and it's like, come on, like I understand that to an extent you have to cater to like the casuals, but it's like that's why
Sure.
you have difficulty settings. It's like in Divinity, how they have like as you increase the difficulty, they have like different rules
Yeah.
to make it more complicated. It's like just like do something like that, you know? Like make a game that everyone can get behind, not just people who are going to pick it up for
Right.
like a couple of hours and then drop it until the DLC comes out. Like
Right. Like, so when I was watching the stream though, dude, like it was pretty shit. Like the maybe it was the streaming service that I was using to watch it, but it like the resolution sucked and the frame rate was bad. Like on anytime something crazy happened, like if Thor was to do any move ever, it dropped to like 12 frames per second, you know? And I was just like, eh. And it's kind of like combat's kind of limited, like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but it just doesn't look fun, you know? Like you don't get um those like sound effects, or you don't feel like your character's really like hitting a dude. There's no like big impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks kind of lame. The only character that looked fun was the Incredible Hulk, but like how do you fuck that up, you know?
Hulk smash, dude. You
He
don't.
just yeah, he just smashes everything. And it's just that's it. The one thing I will
Yeah.
say
All right.
though, no, I'll say one more thing about it, and it's the only redeeming factor is there will be free updates that'll add characters and other shit, like other places to go. But whatever. Coming to you.
I mean, I'm a Marvel fan, so I'm kind of upset that it's probably not going to be a good game.
I'm a Disney fan, and Kingdom Hearts sucks, so
Dude,
I don't know. Well,
but all right, yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3
All
sucks.
right. So the coolest part about that whole stream, that IGN stream, was the Sekiro speedrun, dude. That dude did some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like he was literally swimming through the air. This guy ended up getting the world record by I don't know, a couple seconds, not that much, like
Yeah,
less than a minute.
but it's crazy. It's crazy seeing how like these games that we view as like extremely difficult are just being broken by these
Less than
people
an hour.
less than an hour, and that's collecting all the souls or memories. Yeah, all the
Mm,
memories in the game. And I'm just like, wow, these people are just they're so talented, you know? Even though like sometimes it's a thing that you could just do like anybody can do. Like I do the speed run for Legend of Zelda, 0% speed run for Legend of Zelda. It takes me like 9 minutes, you know? 9 or 12 minutes, some shit like that. Um, but like when you see these things that people are doing that just seem like unbelievable. It's like this level of mastery. It's nuts, dude. I enjoyed seeing every bit about it. I was like waiting for the guy to be like, "Oh, is it gorilla time?" Oh, I'm waiting for gorilla because like that's super hard. That's a super hard fight, and he just kicks his ass like nobody's business. You know,
uh,
like he was just walking along, and now the gorilla's dead.
yeah,
Oh
that's
my
crazy,
God.
man.
Yeah,
Or like the glitches where he like backs the bosses into corners and then just doesn't attack towards them, so they never even block, and he can just infinitely keep them stunned
I had
by
no idea.
attacking.
I had no idea that was a thing that you could do at
Uh,
all. Like I can't
uh,
think of that being a thing in any game I've ever played in my life. So that was really
it's
cool.
some crazy stuff, man.
And then you got to see a new boss that you've never seen. The
Yeah,
dragon tree.
the dragon tree. Yeah, I've never seen that boss, dude.
That
I mean,
sucks.
given
Cause
I haven't beaten the game,
oh sure.
but
Which sucks. That's the
yeah.
coolest boss. That is the nameless king equivalent in that game.
Oh,
Where it's
jeez, the nameless king, dude.
the coolest
Oh my
boss so
god.
far. But yeah, it was cool. The speedrun was awesome. A new world record. I mean, how can you top that? I mean, we saw we saw IGN play Overcooked 2, a game that I will always be positive about. A game where I'm like, oh, we should play Overcooked. I can't wait to play
They made it
Overcooked.
look so
They
boring,
made it look
though.
so shitty, dude. I'm like, they're
Oh,
just like dropping hot dogs on the ground and doing like third grade humor about weenies and shit. And I'm like, oh boy.
I mean, what else can you expect from IGN though? To be honest,
I don't know.
9.5 ratings on
Everything.
everything.
game.
How
How much did you pay? 9.5.
Yeah, it's got a little bit for everything.
Pretty much.
It's got a little bit for everybody. God damn it.
Yeah.
I like Overcooked too, man. I hope they never play Moving Out.
Dude, what was that surgeon game though? Oh my god.
It's just
Like a surgeon simulator.
it was
right?
just Surgeon Simulator. It's like the new Surgeon
Oh my god.
Simulator.
It was wacky.
It looks like it looks like it's gonna be in VR. It's got VR
It
movement.
looked like a fun for about maybe an hour with friends kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
I appreciate like multiplayer VR stuff, but sometimes it's like you're just trying to like get money off of the multiplayer VR,
Yeah,
you know? But
yeah, definitely.
it's whatever. You know, you should make more quality games like Vigil and Darksiders. You know, shit like
Yeah.
that. All right.
Or
That's
How
not
dare
fair.
you ask for quality?
No,
or
well,
Biomutant.
or Biomutant, which looks fucking cool. Like I tried to pitch this to Chris and he wasn't like about it at first, and then he saw it and he blew his mind. I was like, oh, well, all right. It's like Kung Fu Panda. Like it's like animals doing kung fu shit and like having
like
samurai abilities.
If you want to be Rocket Raccoon, play
Yeah.
this game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty
cool.
dope.
It's
Yeah.
like it has like some Monster Hunter like qualities to it. Like it's just it looks like a blast to play with friends.
Yeah.
I still don't know what it's about, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need to know what it's about. It looks crazy as hell. It's like I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's kung fu animals, man. And
Kung Fu animals, dude.
It looks like it plays like like Devil May Cry or some shit. It looks cool.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
Mhm.
But we got the meatiest, most delicious thing, most juicy
Yeah.
reveal this week, and it's for a game that we're all pretty excited about. It's a game
Everybody's been waiting for like 2 years, dude.
it's yeah. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
it got delayed once more, but I think this is the last one. You know,
Pokemon
Hopefully.
Unite.
Pokemon Unite, the MOBA.
Yeah. Diablo Immortal, dude.
No,
Son of a
we'll get
bitch.
there. We'll get there. Sorry, go on.
No, obviously I'm talking about the Night City Wire stream for Cyberpunk. It started off kind of
Yeah.
weird. It was kind of laggy, you know. And if you don't know what Cyberpunk 2077 is, you might be more familiar with Project CD Red's other game or game series, The Witcher. Or if you don't play video games at all, why are you watching this? Secondly,
The reason why Keanu Reeves became a meme about a year ago.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. But you know, as far as The Witcher goes, if you haven't played the games, maybe you've seen the show with everybody's favorite Henry Cavill. It's from the guys that made that, and
Yeah.
the third game, Wild Hunt, is a masterpiece. There's a masterpiece game. There's little shitty filler content in the middle, but other than that, if you can ignore it, amazing game. Just and this game looks like it's not going to disappoint either. You know, you start with building your character, and that changes like the course of their life or the course of their status in the game. You know, if you make someone who is more like rugged and kind of nomadic, you start like in the Badlands, which seems like this Mad Max style environment. Everything looks like
Yep.
all desert, and you know, it looks like shitty. You know, but if you start as like a corporate
like-
guy, right?
Yeah, corporate guy.
I think they're called corpos. If you start like as a corpo guy, you know, you're in the city. You're in this wonderful like neo. What the hell is it? Is it like Tokyo or New York or what the hell is it? Do you know?
Like something like that. Yeah, it's definitely like one of those big major cities,
Yeah, I forgot what it's
metropolitan
based
areas.
off of.
Okay, well, whatever the case, it's just like this wonderful, like this sprawling, like neo super technological
City.
city. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. But and I think it's really cool. It's like one of the first times, or at least one of the most recent times that I can remember, that you get to do this. Other than like Fable, where you're like evil and then you like move on and you talk to these people and they think of you a certain way. But in this game, it's like, it's your status that determines how people talk to you or where you start or if you have access to like the higher echelons of society or if you're just like broke, basically if you're broke nomad dude. I think that's cool. There's a lot of things about Cyberpunk that were really cool. There were new systems that were announced, like being able to see into people's memories. That's like this crazy new thing that's going on. And
Like a interactive, like action replay kind of thing.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Like that was amazing. That was so cool. That was so cool. I
Yeah,
like that.
it's like you were looking into like this guy's memory right before he died, and you can figure out like how to solve cases through that. And it's even in the story, like it feels real that because even in the game, it's like people aren't just using this to solve cases, they're using this to like for other pleasures, Like people are using this to like to feel the thrill or the adrenaline of like how it feels before you die. Like it's the
Hmm.
craziest shit. Like in the story of the game,
Crazy.
like this is like a huge like system that's being used for all kinds of shit, It's almost like
Yep.
virtual reality. You're using it for all
Kind of
kinds of
reminds
different
me of that.
pleasures.
Sorry.
No, no, you're good.
Kind of reminds me of that show Altered Carbon on Netflix.
I didn't watch
You guys
Altered
watch that?
Carbon. No, I didn't watch it,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I saw it.
I saw a
That's
little
pretty good
trailer
show.
for it.
Yeah, you should definitely watch that. It's dope.
This is like if shit like Altered Carbon or like some of the stuff that comes out in like Black Mirror was like a video game. Like some of the
Yeah,
concepts
Black
would be
Mirror.
like totally up in this thing. Uh,
Like
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, just based off everything we've seen, I mean, it it is because of this game that I'm saving money to build a new PC. Like
Uh,
I'm so hyped for this game
Uh-huh.
that if it disappoints, that shit's gonna break my heart. And I do have a correction. When we were watching the stream, I know I made a comment about the gunplay.
Yeah.
That was my bad. I didn't realize they were playing with the controller
Okay.
until after the stream. So I mean, hopefully, I know like Cody and I talk a lot about how like how we don't like it when people develop games with like for console and then
yeah.
try to like port it over to PC. Like I really hope that they're taking the time to like really make this into a PC game.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I absolutely despise games that they don't even take the time to properly like they port it over, and I hate ports. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like when they remake it, right? Remake all the systems to work flawlessly for the system that they're porting it over to. Like
Yeah.
games like Destiny and Call of Duty and
Yeah.
geez, what else? Division, stuff like that. They're so obviously designed for console games,
Yeah.
and it just keyboard and mouse never feels very good playing those games.
Yeah, I mean,
Especially when you're playing like the Division and you can't even jump or anything, and it's just like, come on.
yeah. I mean, they know their audience and they know who they have to appeal to first. It sucks. It sucks that they wouldn't start from the top and then go down, but instead start from this like middle point and then go up.
They don't even go up. They build a ladder and then like
I
throw
mean,
it up or
I mean,
something.
yeah, I mean, and like capabilities, like they start in like the middle of
Yeah,
capabilities and then they try to go to the top and it's,
yeah,
Yeah, the best example I have of that is like Cody was saying Destiny, but
yeah.
so before Activision split with Bungie,
uh-huh.
they had a studio helping them with the game, and they're called the Vicarious Visions.
Right, yeah,
And what I thought was funny was when they would make content for the game, it was always the hardest because whenever they were balancing it, they were doing it on PC and they wouldn't do it on console. So like you would have like a raid come out, I think it was called like Spiral of Stars, and everyone on console was like, dude, this is so fucking hard, and everyone playing it on PC really liked it. But it's like it just kind of goes along where it's like, it's like in that game you can just tell the difference when like when they do stuff with like PC in mind versus when they do it with like console.
Yeah.
But it's just annoying because then it's like it doesn't even feel like the same game. But
Yeah.
But like I could go on for hours talking about.
And then
the issues
and then
I have with that
in addition to that, console, for some reason people think that it's not possible to play a shooter without aim assist. So that's the standard now, right? I'm not
Right.
going to argue any of that, right? It's the standard.
Sure.
We have to face it. But
Yeah.
then when you have like crossplay, where people on console are playing against people on PC, there's a severe advantage having aim assist with a controller.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
if you don't believe me on that, go watch some Fortnite videos of people, 1v1ing console versus PC. The console person's almost always gonna win.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
I think-
It's such a big advantage.
I think even like Shroud had something to say along the lines of that, where it's just like it's an unfair advantage. Like how could you beat like a machine automatically aiming for you? You know, that there's no way you could be that fast to like counteract that.
I think I saw that video or like a clip of it on YouTube where he was talking about the aim assist, and I was like, oh, hey,
Yeah.
Cody would like this guy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't stand aim assist.
Yeah. Going with Cyberpunk still, there was some more stuff that we saw about the game, but there's a really interesting thing that I didn't think I would see. They're actually going to be making an animated show or an animated series
Yes.
about the game, and that's going to be made by Studio Trigger. Those are the guys that made Kill la Kill, or that
And it'll
did
be on
the animation for Kill la Kill.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll be on Netflix
That's dope.
in a couple years, I think.
I think it is 2022 if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
That's cool.
Okay, but yeah, for what I was looking into, it's about the game, it's about that universe, but it's not like gonna be the same. Which is fine because
it takes place in parallels of the story, but it has nothing to do with the story.
Okay,
So it's
which
like
is cool.
it's in the world of the game, but it's just like a separate story.
Okay, cool. So it's gonna be like Castlevania, like Netflix's Castlevania, where it's like it's the same universe, but it's like kind of different. They're doing different
Yeah,
stuff with
yeah.
it. That's cool. So, after all the delays and all that stuff with freaking Cyberpunk, sorry, I'm starting to get crazy here. With all the delays and whatnot, it's said to be released on the 19th of November, right? So,
Yes.
so you're gonna be able to enjoy all the 7 districts of, Night City, or the area, Night City and the Badlands and all the other places in between. And then, you're gonna be able to do all kinds of stuff in that game, like make your junk bigger. So if you're really into making your junk big, that's the game for you.
They got brothels in it too.
They also have brothels in it, yeah. Yeah. But you never know. It's
Yeah.
all a trap, dude. Everybody's a robot.
Good time for the family right there.
Yeah, I mean, wonderful time.
Yeah.
ChungaBunga
Dude, all right,
approved.
go. Tell us more about this Pokemon Unite, dude.
Jesus
what do you think
Christ.
about it?
Do you mind if I take this one, Ish?
Yeah, please. Because I'll be mad. Well, more mad.
So, I'm gonna try to make this. God, it fucking angers me. So last week they announced Pokemon Snap. Everyone got excited, and then it's like, oh, they're gonna have another stream next week, and I'm thinking, because if you look up the keywords or the tags they had in the video,
Mhm.
it was like, let's go Pokemon Sword and Shield. I'm like, oh, so maybe they're gonna announce like, Generation 4 remake or something, or they're gonna have like Generation 2 Let's Go version or something. So I'm
Yeah.
getting hyped, right?
Yeah.
And they come out with a stream about a fucking MOBA, pardon my French, but a fucking MOBA. That's not even a real MOBA. It's like you kill things, you capture the Pokemon, you take it to a point. It's like a point-based thing instead of attacking towers. And when I'm watching this, I'm like, man, this looks like a really shitty mobile game. Lo and behold, it's on mobile and Switch. I'm like, oh, well, okay, that makes sense. That's why it looks like shit.
My favorite part of that. Sorry to cut you off. My favorite part is like I woke up a little late that day, so I just tune into Discord, and you're like, Pokemon MOBA? What the fuck? That's all. That's the first thing I see, and I'm like, what?
It looks horrible. It looks like it plays horrible. Like the animations were just jacked up, and like it's like, okay, look, I get it. And Game Freak's been wanting to get into China for a long time.
Yeah.
I get it. I get, like, I understand this isn't for us. This is for all the mobile people in Japan and China. It's like, I get it.
Right.
But still, it felt like I woke up and got dick slapped in the face.
Probably
Because
did.
it was at 6 in the morning.
Diglett slapped. He means Diglett slapped.
Yeah, I got Diglett slapped.
There you go.
Mud slap.
No.
But no, man. So here's how I feel about it. Okay, this is coming from somebody that used to play Warcraft 3's version of Dota back in the day before it was even a MOBA.
Yeah.
Back when like it was just a bunch of people defending waves of enemies, and then it got converted into a MOBA before it was even called a MOBA. Dota 2 was the only, or Dota was the only.
Yeah.
And then, switching over to Heroes of New Earth when that was in beta, switching over to League of Legends, then Dota 2, and then back to League of Legends, and then back to Dota 2. I feel like they could have done a really good job with this game if they decided to go for PC, number one, and then do ports over, and then hire people that knew what the heck they were doing. I feel like Pokemon, like the Pokemon universe, has everything you need for a MOBA. It has it has 900 and something characters, almost a 1,000
like
different Pokemon at this point.
It's like 800 or 900.
They really they stand a chance, right? They stood a chance.
Sure. Yeah.
They had enough characters to pick from, enough abilities to pick from, and it could have been a dope game.
Well, they made a Pokemon fighting game too, with the same concept. But look, this is where I fell off. So I saw what Chris said, about Pokemon MOBA, and then I was like, okay, Pokemon MOBA. My first thought was like, it's gonna be mobile thing, so it's gonna be like Pokemon Rumble, but like a MOBA version. And then I saw who was backing it, and I saw Tencent. And I was like, all right, it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck.
And it sucks too because it's like they have things in the game where I'm like, you know what? Anyone else is backing this, I can see it work. It's like, you start off with like a Squirtle, and it's like as you're playing the MOBA, it evolves. And I'm like, dude, that's really cool. Like I agree with Cody. Like if they wanted to, they could have made this into something really, really special.
Yeah.
But as soon as I saw Tencent, I'm like, well, it's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote. It's gonna be a microtransaction filled game where you're gonna where they expect you to at least spend like $100 per player. It's just gonna be another thing. It's gonna be another League of Legends, dude, where it's like League of Legends was cool, and then Tencent came into the picture, and then now it's like you have to spend $5,000 to get like all the skins or the worthwhile skins in the game.
$30 skins, dude.
Huh?
Yeah, but Cody brought up old school Dota with like the tower defense thing.
Mm-hmm.
I would love a game like that to come out. I miss that shit.
Yeah.
Dude, like the Warcraft 3 Reforged. I know it's kind of a meme, but a lot of those old custom
maps,
games they're a lot of fun. Like I definitely go back to those. It's so much fun.
Don't play the campaign, just play all the custom stuff.
Yeah.
That's it.
They definitely did not deliver on their promise. That game looks like crap compared to what they promised.
Yeah.
But
that's expected for Activision Blizzard.
All right.
Oh, God.
Good news though. Good news. Critical Role coming back.
Yes.
You guys excited about that?
I'm excited about Critical Role. I'm excited just to like catch up to where they're at now and then start following the new episodes. Yeah.
I mean, it's fantastic. I'm waiting to see what kind of memes they have because I mean, they have the voice actress of Ellie and Abby on their cast. So I'm waiting to see. It's like, okay, are you guys gonna meme us?
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because I'm really excited. I love my love for Dungeons and Dragons sprouted from that show.
Yeah.
And I like how come on, you got McCree as a DM.
Mm-hmm.
You got Thor in the new Avengers game in their cast. Like it's like they're all really talented. And maybe not the best D&D players, because I mean, sometimes they do some stuff where I'm like, kind of a dumb choice.
Yeah.
It's all about the memes, really.
Yeah,
it's about the memes.
It's all entertainment. It's all entertaining, and I'm stoked. Like they're gonna be fighting a turtle dragon
Oh shit.
So I'm very excited to see how that turns out because I think they were gone for
Sorry.
like a few
Sorry
months
about that.
because of the corona. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. I mean, if you want something that's like truer to the game, you'll definitely watch Critical Role. But if you want to watch something that's a little like takes a lot of royalties and a lot of like, you know, it's a little easier on the players, there's always like Harmon's Quest. That was a good one too. Harmon's Quest was a good way to like watch somebody play D&D. They like animated what they did and this and that,
Yeah.
you know. So that's fun. Stuff like that
Harmon.
is yeah, stuff like that is like fun to like gateway, you know, not like a drug, but like the gateway into playing D&D, you know?
Yeah, don't let it be Big Bang Theory, by the way, people. Like,
Nah,
don't watch that show and be like, oh, we'll go play D&D because chances are you're gonna piss everyone off
yeah,
when you're playing it.
yeah, don't
Yeah.
do that.
So
Or just don't
don't
watch.
Big Bang
be
Theory is a good show, but yeah,
Yeah,
don't.
just don't
don't be
watch the
that
show.
guy.
Just don't watch it. That's fine.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good idea.
So
So
Chris likes Bungie, kind of, because he likes Destiny, right? And
Yes.
you know, Destiny's been nothing but disappointing. So, you
And
know,
I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
of course,
It's been mostly disappointing.
mostly. And it's kind of the perfect time for it to be disappointing because, you know, we've been hearing a lot about Halo Infinite. So Bungie's probably going to get back to the glory that it used to be, you know?
Jesus Christ.
yeah,
Yeah. You know, how can you beat a new Halo game? Hopefully it doesn't suck. But how can you beat a new Halo game? You know, we're already getting Halo 3 in the Master Chief Collection pretty soon. And then now we get some like what 10-second audio footage or, you know, audio of Halo Infinite.
Yep.
I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping it's awesome.
It teases quite a bit though, and well, not a bit. It's like it teases the main enemy faction. I think will be in the game,
Yeah,
which is the Banish. It's led by brutes
that's
that
right.
have turned against the prophets.
Yeah.
And I mean, you got the flood coming back, and it sounds like the Banish, based off the audio leak or tape, it's like I think they took over a Halo ring. That's how it made it sound. It sounded like they took over a Halo ring, and they're getting ready to activate it.
that sounds like it's
So
gonna be a long campaign, dude.
Yeah.
yeah,
That sounds like it's gonna be super awesome. It's gonna be like Halo 2 levels of awesome, like story wise, where you're just like there's like real consequences now, you know?
yep.
It's like real
Yeah.
I mean,
shit.
how's Cortana gonna handle that? Because I mean, like it's just everything is gonna collide. Yeah, I'm really excited for this game.
The only thing I
Yeah.
could see being an issue with the game in general is if they try to double dip on money and port it over to PC as well, and then do the same thing that Bungie did, and just
Yeah. But you
port
know,
it over port.
when we see more about it, you know, we're gonna talk about it because I'm excited about Halo. I'm always excited about Halo. Even Reach, even though I hate it and I think
Which
it's kind
isn't
of
too
boring,
bad.
but I still play it. Still play it.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, other than that, I'm sure there was a lot of stuff that was out, but it's just, you know, it's so hard to keep track of everything, and you know, we don't want to take everybody's time for too long. You know what I mean? But you know,
Uh,
that's kind of what I felt like was like the important games to talk about. You know, do you guys have anything else or
yeah, there's like one thing I wanted to get your guys' opinion on is like, what do you guys think about what do you guys think about like all these streamers and stuff that's going on, like Method basically falling apart. Everybody's leaving the Method org, and then
yeah,
like Doctor Disrespect's banned, and we don't know why, but it kind of collides with um, well, it's timed with what's everything else that's going on in the world, you know?
yeah, definitely. I mean, it's one of those times where it's like it's not safe to be as open as you used to be, or it's not as safe playing the streamer game like when this was like Justin TV, you know, or
Yeah,
Twitch TV was just like starting, you know, with the whole Mixer thing and how they're like closing down and it's going to be
yeah,
Facebook gaming and stuff like that. You know, it's all these new rules and regulations and guidelines are coming out, you know, and it's kind of crazy. It's crazy how people are just trying to play it safe, but even then they'll still get like mad banned. Like, I don't know what happened
Yeah.
to Dr. Disrespect. I'm thinking he probably said something crazy because he usually does, and they're like giving him punishment for that.
Yeah.
But
People are trying to figure it out. Like there's not. It's like it seems like people are like going through like old footage of him. It just doesn't seem like he did anything
right.
to justify it, but it's got to be something in the background.
Yeah. Or it could even be
I
something
mean,
like from years ago where they're like catching him now or bringing it up
yeah.
now.
Yeah. The only thing I could think of with like Doc is, all right, so there's one that's kind of credible is the DMCA, which normally you'd be like, it's Doc. They wouldn't take him down over like something like watching a video on a stream. But when you think about like how many times he's already been banned, and this would have been like his fifth, sixth strike.
I mean,
Possibly?
he got banned for like recording the bathroom, like
I gotta be honest though. For him to get banned, and I've seen what other streamers have done, like the chick who spit vodka in her cat's face, or like chucked her cat. Like there are some people on Twitch that do way worse things than Dr. Disrespect. So if he got banned for any of that stuff, I think that's very wrong.
Well, there's
been like it seems like they can get away with murder, and he's the one that gets banned.
Well, no, there's been ban waves like left and right. It's just he's the most known. He's the most he's the biggest image of who's getting banned.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, no, there's a lot of big streamers out there that are getting banned and stuff.
Yeah.
Or not necessarily banned, but definitely called out and losing sponsors and yeah, dude, it's crazy. The cancel culture is real right now, man.
Yeah, dude, and it's like people. No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say a lot of people deserve it, but there's people out there that like, with all the evidence that they've been able to bring up, or other people that have been able to bring up in their defense. People like Swifty, I think the other day one of you guys brought up Angry Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Angry Joe.
Yeah, like some of these people just don't really deserve it,
Yeah, it's just you find somebody and you like just point your finger at them, and that's there it is.
Like the best thing I can say about that is we live in the United States. Yeah. Like we're not in China or something like that. So like we should be believing in innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
It like people like we have a system here, man. Like don't bring
up someone's tweet, dude. Someone's tweet.
Yeah.
Innocent until proven guilty, unless it's on the internet, and then it's asked backwards.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. Like it's like, come on, give people that chance,
Yeah.
I mean, and you know what? If they're guilty, like fuck it, we'll be the first ones to grab the pitchfork,
Yeah.
Like take them down if they're guilty, but only if they're guilty.
So even then, like if they're guilty, okay, they're guilty, but is there like a point at which people can be forgiven? Like somebody just like kind of not ruthlessly, it's a bad word, but like not just like bugging people to like, hey, will you go out on a date with me? Asking more than once, and then kind of gets seen as harassment after a little bit. Yeah. Can people that apologize for stuff like that and admit when they're wrong, is that when they be?
It's like if it's someone who's just continuously asking someone out or something like that, it's like, yeah, I could see them being forgiven. But I mean, if it's a guy who's like just constantly sending dick pics to someone, then it's kind of like, oh.
Yeah, that's not good, man. I mean, I feel like the way you apologize and the way you kind of like try to make up for it is worth like being forgiven. But if you just post up like a video, like a 10-second, 30-second video, like, yeah, I'm sorry, like, fuck it, like, fuck them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you should earn the forgiveness. You shouldn't just like just get it. And if like somebody accused you of something and they were falsely accusing you, you should get like the praise. Like, like, of course you wouldn't have done that. You're not that type of person.
And for anyone listening, we do know also about the Shane Dawson situation, but that's probably not the best thing to talk about.
I don't even know about Shane Dawson.
Yeah, I'm not gonna dig into that. Not at all.
Yeah. Nope. I'm not touching that.
I was kind of laughing a second ago because I remembered something I said to my wife. I'm like, man, I'm trying to get into the streaming thing, and I just like with everything going on, I realize I'm very very glad that you, as my wife, are the only person I've ever sexually harassed.
Oh my god.
He's married, people. It's okay. He's married.
I'm like, what a
while we're married, kind of a joke,
what a conversation of endearment. Yeah, I mean, there's so much shit going on with that, and it's too much to talk about in like one seating. Like I'm sure we'll discuss it at some other point because there's a lot of things you could just get into a boatload of trouble for, whether it be Twitch, whether it be any other type of like streaming in the airwaves, you got to just be careful. And you gotta be able to have not like an alibi. That sounds like you're fucking looking for trouble.
So,
but you gotta just play it safe.
Yeah, like you're just saying, like you gotta be careful. It's not be careful not to get caught. Just be careful to keep yourself in check. Just don't do it. Keep your buddies in check. Like it's just something that like we all gotta do. We gotta like be better police than police and police ourselves, police our buddies. Like something I learned in the military is like you can't always expect people to do the right thing or correct themselves when they are doing the wrong thing. You got to be willing to let them know.
Yeah.
And that's something I did to my peers a lot, man.
No,
anyways, we don't. Yeah, so we're not like a drama tabloid or anything, but I thought a few things are worth mentioning.
Yeah. As for us, I think that's about what we got for you this week. We got a lot of stuff coming up, though. Like we were talking about, Cody and I have the Dark Souls 3 stream. Chris and I have 2 streams that will be going on, which will be the Divinity Original Sin 2 and the Baldur's Gate streams that we will be doing. We will also be doing some polls in the very, very near future for other things that you might like to see us do or whatnot. And if Alec is watching, just let me know what you want me to eat, man. just put that money on the table and I'll eat it.
All right, man. Donate $5 to eat anything you want.
Yeah, there you go.
It costs $5.
But from us, ChungaBunga Podcast, thanks for listening. All of the links will be down below. So stay tuned because we got a lot of stuff going on. We might maybe do something tonight. We'll keep you guys informed.
All right. Wubba lubba dub dub.
Laters, guys.
Special thanks, or not thanks. Well, yeah, thanks. Yeah. Thanks again, Joe, sticking around, man. Engaging chat. Also want to call out, we have one follower that I kind of missed when I read out the donation. Terry Sampson, thanks. Welcome to the team, bud.
Thanks, Terry Sampson. We appreciate it. Sorry we didn't get to you.
All right, so that's it for us. Have a good one, guys.
Later, guys.
Later.